Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I am your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep, and I am joined by, I was joined by Ben a moment ago. He seems to have dropped out, maybe some technical difficulties. So that's fun. Great way to start. But what's up? How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing awesome. We are drafting seventh inning stretch. It's that time. It's still that time. And let's see. Hey, there he is.
Sheep.
He survived. Whatever happened.
I told you, no technical difficulties this time, but
except
it's already lagging, and I in an effort to make sure there are no other programs running, because I do my Underdog on Firefox, but this is on Chrome, so I shut the Chrome down.
All right, so we are sitting here in this lobby, 7 more people, but secretly we also joined the previous lobby because it was close to filling. So let's get a Nick Pavetta here. We are finishing up this other draft while I'm sorry to disappoint, Pedro. We have the sheep has been shorn. I like to do the extremes. The gross beard is gone. My wife would not let me keep the mustache if I wanted to stay married to her. So we're actually getting ready for a little summer vacation next week to Hawaii. So I'm pretty excited for that, and thought I'd get a nice haircut and shave for it. Look nice.
You look very handsome, Mr. Sheep.
Thank you. So yeah, like I said, there was like one spot left, so we pushed into this previous draft. We do need 6 people for the next, so maybe we'll multi-table, maybe we won't. Right now, I've got a 5-4-5 build going with a little Angels, little Yankees, a little Milwaukee thing going. I'm gonna add Bryce Terang here.
Wow, we're in a midseason tournament, are we not? Like you're going for Bryce Terang, baby.
His role is stable.
His
stealing bases
extra. This is not roto.
I'd like to be taking him 20th round, but that's not how this.
That's not what we're working with, right? Yeah. We are the high flyers. They are up there. So we got some fun players with some fun ADPs to look at.
Yeah, what's up? Billy is out there. He's out there making the rounds with all his awesome football content. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at anything football, and I might not do any season-long football this year.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. I might need some content here, and I'll end up doing it. What's up, Pedro? PJ Ramirez 24 in the drafts. I have not noticed that name, but we will definitely be on the lookout for you. Thanks for joining. Happy you found the show.
Yes. Welcome.
Yeah, speaking of high ADPs, my first infielder, Anthony Volpe at pick 50.
Yeah. Now, Volpe, I was kind of thinking, I'm good to kind of to pay that number now that we have a little more insight and we're seeing him execute. It's definitely jarring when you first see it. There's a couple guys there, Volpe, Abrams, that are hanging around 50s to 60s, but I'm okay clicking those ones. I think I kind of want to get a couple out of that little tier I've noticed in just a few fasts that I've done.
Yeah, I think Abrams and Thomas are interesting. You're paying for Abrams, but Thomas with the injury, Logan Thomas is actually, I'm not sure where he's at now.
He should be down there.
He's probably risen.
Lane Thomas.
Lane Thomas. 119. Yeah, he's come up already. So that was a good combo if you got it early.
Right? No, yeah, I don't think I wasn't keeping tabs on his injury. Didn't know he was coming back quite at this point, and he's already doing so much. He's run. I was listening to, I think could have been Bub in the Bloom, but he's actually on a per game pace to steal as many bases as Ellie. He's like 2 behind Ellie was through 26 games or something like that.
He's just been taken off. Yeah. All right. So you're coming up here. You got a full infield with 7 already.
Thank you for letting me know. Yes. You can get some pictures here, I think.
Yeah, you got a nice big Philly stack, the maximum. So I guess, have you thought too much about stacking sizes? Is it different, or is it just sort of whatever you've been thinking on each draft?
No, I'm always looking to stack still. I haven't thought too much about sizes or where it relates to your overall construction, what players are taking it from. Just start to see a lane where you can put a team like Philly together, and I'm just going to hammer it. And we'll see how that turns out. Been doing it for like 4 years now with Philly. Haven't made finals, in any contest I've entered. So
yeah,
it's nothing against them. I love Philly. Shout out Chip.
It is interesting. This year they've started out hot, where usually past couple of years they've kind of ramped into it. So I'm interested to see if they can keep it up. They'll obviously get Trey Turner back.
Actually, in this tournament, I missed out on getting Trey, but even though I don't feel like he's particularly close, or there's no rehab assignment rumors yet, right?
I haven't seen anything.
But just being able to go from Bryce to Trey, Bryce Schwarber, Trey, something like that, you really couldn't do that at all in the full season tournament. I feel like,
right? Yeah, even Schwarber's a little bit undervalued compared to by a few picks at least. Let's see. Yeah, he was going a lot more on the turn.
I just barely missed Trey in this one, just two or three picks before me. But I was kind of ready to do it, even though I think we talked last year too when we did this together, kind of timing the injury game a little bit and seeing if you can find maneuverability throughout the draft by how people may or may not be reading into injuries by the time we actually kick this tournament off. I know Woodruff didn't work out for you that great, but I think you had that timeline pretty well navigated. You got him back second week of that tournament. So that's why you made the pick, I feel like.
I think Dr. Dave would have approved though.
Here's my guy, Dr. Dave.
There's a deep roto
accounts I can see. Okay, yeah.
There's a deep roto Twitter shout out there.
That is what I think makes NFBC fun, is that the content surrounding it, either on Twitter or podcasts, is just limitless. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I took Ronaldo Lopez there as pitcher 6. I am concerned. He's looked great.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about his innings, but Atlanta might just push him because they need pitchers.
They don't seem to have a lot of options, right?
Ray Kerr.
He's a brand new name, no one that we were even thinking about to start the year. But no, I haven't. We're actually getting a nice preview, I feel like, of the late draft, and I think while there's options in these pitchers and stuff, it's also nothing is sticking out to me exactly as who I should maybe try to build a portfolio of. So I feel like I'm just firing at the last few guys that I see each time we get down here to the.
I think I'm going to close out this room with Justin Verlander.
Verlander
seems
eligible.
So.
I think so.
What's up, Al? Al Paul. My dingers are about average at the moment. Sitting at just the 16% for average advancement. My perfect games are not doing well. I have 1 out of 6, and that's supposed to be easier to advance. And then my bullpen is 30% though. So right now that's kind of where my hopes and dreams lie.
I'm my bullpens are ahead, definitely. I think I'm usually hovering around 14 or 15 out of my 49 entries. Dingers, yeah, I think everyone's saying it right now, and dingers feel pretty tough. I'm probably I don't know, like have like 10 advancers out of 69 teams right now. So
Sure.
it doesn't feel, too special. But then you see a lot of the 150 guys posting right now in the Discords and everything, and they're like 30, 35 teams or something like that, it seems like.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've seen a couple people with, posting pretty high. We do need 6 people for the full next draft that we're going to run after this one we're finishing up. So if you want to get in here and draft with us, just jump on in. The 7th inning stretch contest, $10, starts in a few weeks. I don't even know. I always mean to look that up before the show starts, and then I don't.
I have no idea either. What does it start at All-Star break this year? Yeah, really kind of similar, I would say. Yeah.
I think I am interested to know what pro Ellie drafters are sitting at for their advance rates, because he's kind of cooled down lately.
Yeah. I don't think he's probably doing what he needs to, but he's not carrying a team in the way that, if he took enough injuries at other positions and everything like that. Certainly, if he pays off his ADP, that's maybe better than you anticipated, but in the scheme of the tournament, it's not actually gaining a lot of traction.
Yeah. So jumping back here, Billy did ask, any changes to structure you're drafting with a shorter season? So this contest is a 4-week regular season followed by the regular baseball playoff structure, which is 2-week groups of 2 weeks, 2 separate 1-week periods. So this one is a lot smaller or a lot shorter. And so my general thought is that I'm willing to stack larger, trying to get those weeks of running hot as a team a lot more than trying to get a team that can survive a whole season. And then I'm also I think I'm willing to do less pitchers. I think I'm willing to go 6. Because again, I'm not trying to stay super healthy. Part of the 7-8 pitcher idea has to do with health. So like just trying to run hot on pitching seems like something I'd want to do. I don't think I'm still going down to 5.
I came to a similar conclusion, I would say too, although I was also still pro keeping it pretty thin at pitcher in a lot of my builds. So
okay. You did a lot of 6?
I did like definitely a good bit of 6-7-7, type stuff, or 6-8-6 for the dinger in the full season. And I don't think my pitching so far, like I haven't taken too many injuries to, like Pavetta came back, Luzardo came back. A lot of the guys that scared me are still on the construction. So I'm looking at a good number of like teams in third place that have 6 pitchers, 7 pitchers, or maybe even 7 healthy to go. But the injuries on the infield is probably what's tanked me a little bit more. Trevor Story and Casas right now, on a lot of teams. And I was stacking a lot of Red Sox, so they took some pretty big hits on the and of course, and Canarcio Strand. Like that
was another one that you were on. Yeah,
big hole in my portfolio that is just making me feel like Brad and Wyatt Langford. It's I know the feeling.
Shout out Robbie here. He's got 27 of 83 of his dingers advancing. Nice. It was 0 Ellie. Yep.
That proves the sheepsis. The fade the young guy. Thesis sheepsis.
This also helps not having any Carroll. I know Julio is a big weight on my first round pick selections. Jordan's kind of he's at least scoring here and there. He's not a complete waste, but Julio's, those 2 guys I was pretty heavy on, so that wasn't great.
I have very little of each of them. I got overweight just about all the other outfield options, I feel like, except those 2. Not that Tatis is destroying everything. So yeah, but outfield has still been the position player injuries, I think, have been pretty hard to navigate. So That's what I'm seeing more. Back to your idea about keeping it thin pitching. I think at this point, yeah, we know the pool we're working with. I kind of like the idea of keeping it thin. That I try to do that for the full season too, just hoping to shoot the moon basically with a 6 or 7 pitcher build, all healthy, and then lots of position players. But
yes, so I think I'm gonna get really weird here and do 7-7-5 and grab Logan O'Hoppe for my Angel stack, and just I'm saying this lineup, Trout does come back and is healthy during this contest. So that's kind of what I'm saying with this build.
With that build, yes. Although no timetable, right? Like
none.
They're not offering anything right now.
This is literally the first time I've taken Trout.
Okay.
Just something to try out.
There's still so much time to go. I mean, not so much time, but their news can change daily, let alone over the course of the next 5-6 weeks or whenever this tournament kicks off.
Right. Yeah, and we do need 6 more people to try to fire this full draft next. So if you're watching and want to jump in, that would be lovely. Yeah, so this is definitely a weird build. Or I guess it'd be 7-7-6. I can still take another outfielder.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about. I have a lot of. I don't know. This is an interesting infield. It doesn't have any star power.
Infield is thin in these tournaments, and if you go with a heavy outfield start, I think your infield is going to be a little bit murky. You're going to have to dig pretty deep for the last couple guys. I know Noelvi is still out there though, which I think is pretty easy to click when you're looking for your last.
What is the timetable on him? Do you know?
He's going to be playing in June, so I think he beats the start of this tournament completely.
Because this starts 6/24.
Well, okay, I might want to verify that, but I think he beats that pretty easily. It's like within the next 2 or 3 weeks or something.
Okay.
In that case, right? He's just off suspension, so there's no ramp up. He's playing minor league games now, and they're a different team than when we were drafting them, in the bullpen, and we just had no idea how this playing time was going to shed. There we go, 24 games away from play. Okay, so that might not
man in the field on Cincinnati.
That might not be perfect then, I guess. But I think for your absolute last outfield, he still barely has an ADP. Stick him on the end there, end of your bench. You'll be, by the time you need him, hopefully, he'll be crushing. I know our Bengals fan agrees with that at least.
Oh yeah. So Robbie here, Jake Berger and McCormick have been pretty big misses. McCormick more so for me than Berger.
So Berger. How can we go this far without mentioning Edward Julian? I can't click him in this tournament. I just can't do it. It doesn't feel good anymore.
All right. Quick question: are Matt Vierling or Wenzel Perez any interest to you?
I would take Vierling.
All right.
They're both interesting in a sense.
We're gonna get crazy. We're just gonna get crazy here. We're gonna put.
I need to see the rest of the board. Wait, okay. So LeMahieu, Tyler Black is marked off there. Look at you.
The star method, my friend.
LeMahieu. Hey, we're putting them back on our road teams.
Speaking of misses,
Jordan Walker.
Look,
we're listing off a number of names, just misses, underperformers, high draft, top 100 guys, right? I mean,
yeah.
And then Royce Lewis has been out the whole time pretty much. So,
right.
Position. So, yeah, I think kind of go thin at pitchers. I think we have pitcher choices, and then fire a lot at those position players in this one.
Yeah, I totally feel like I could take a pitcher at any time. I'm happy. I can find a guy I like at any point in the draft. So mostly I'm just kind of building in different guys, different places, and trying to. I'm not going super early, but I'm still not going super late all the time. Sometimes I have been. So while we wait, hopefully we can get 5 people to jump in for the full draft that we had actually planned. So let's see. We got here. Let's try and talk about this. So Billy's asking, infield is thin in this tournament. How is it completely different meta from the dinger? What changed? So let's go back to that full draft. Let's look at the draft board. So here's the thing that changed is look at this first round.
That sea of green there, man.
So all these guys, Randy, Mike Trout, Brian Reynolds was up there. We had Luis Robert was up in this area. Jazz is about the same. I think Santander is up. So
William Contreras. I mean, look at that. That's
Nolan Jones was up there from deep in the heart of that. We need 4 more for the next draft. But
lost outfielders and all the infielders that were in like draftable early range. Now they're all, in the first 5 rounds together.
Right. And plus we have guys that have, and this is my theory as to what the field is doing, is that when we're drafting before the season, we're not thinking about the actual numbers that these guys put up, the total points relative, the infield guys to the outfield guys. We're just thinking about structures, and we're thinking about, or we know that outfield gets scarce. But now that we're in this contest and we're in the middle of the season and we see the numbers from this season that guys have put up, especially these infielders like William Contreras, Gunnar Henderson, like
Gunnar, right?
The theory and the structure just goes out of your head, and you just see that number and you're like, oh yeah, I want more big numbers. So the field just shifts their, like they have something to latch onto as opposed to, projected point totals.
Are you sticking with outfield early as a general like overarching concept, or are you gonna go ahead and take Bobby Witt at like number 6?
I'm not opposed to doing it. I am still sticking fairly outfield heavy early, because I do think, whereas I don't know, it's hard to say because like let's take a look at some of these outfielders going late. If you're going, I think, even
a Jason Dominguez pick in there, right? Yeah,
that was me getting crazy. 14, 15. I had 2 other Yankees. So
hey, stack it up.
Yeah. So, it's even round 13. These outfielders, we can go back to Brenton Doyle, George Springer, like basically Joe Adell's going at 126. So I still think the outfielders are thinner. Like I still
Yoshida. That I mean, that's not a comfortable pick to make if you're
right. That's maybe.
Yeah,
I think that word's better than good, or whatever I said. Comfortable. These picks aren't comfortable. They're, I can feel kind of comfortable about Kelly or Brian Hayes, more so than like Max Kepler, who's not playing every day. Like that sort of stuff. So I think the outfield is still thinner than people think, and like you can get Brendan Rod. I'm still okay with it. So that's my general theory as to what's changed is people are seeing numbers and results. We do need 4 more. So if you're out there and you think we're talking out of our whatever hole other than our mouth is, come take our money. So let's see here. Robbie says late outfield is okay. So he does like some guys, Willie Abreu, Tommy Pham, Bleday, Pages, Pages, I guess. Sorry. Jackson Merrill is an interesting one. I've thrown him, I think, maybe on 1 or 2 San Diego teams.
Yeah.
The
guy that I still haven't gotten to once because I fill up my teams before I can. But Alec Burleson, he batting second today for the Cardinals. Jordan Walker is not in the picture. Lars Nootbaar just went on the IL, so he's got like a clear runway for me. And zero ADP. Haven't made the choice yet, but Gorman too, right? Like maybe jump back in on the Cardinals. They're a little bit hot these days.
Yeah, definitely. You can get great prices on the Cardinals if you think they turn around. Lars Nootbaar before the injury was one of my favorite values
in this one
this contest because he had been out for so long and he was starting to he looked like he was getting back into baseball form. And I thought he was just a great value where he was going pretty late. See what No Bo Sox says. In the dinger, I almost never took more than 6 outfield, but in the 7th inning stretch, I find myself taking 7 a lot because I'm taking pitcher and infield earlier. Yeah.
Which is, we loaded up on our infields cheaply, right, to fill all those positions for the dinger.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're doing that at the outfield.
But it's hard to, again, because everything has sucked up and those second round guys, like Bobby Witt was a second round guy, right? Now he's firmly in the middle of it. So I'm still kind of, I think early on I was trying to not overcorrect for what I felt about the outfield market in the dinger, and because of scarcity, evaluate guys that I didn't think were as good as Bobby Witt or something like that. So I ended up with some good elite infield builds still.
Yeah.
Maybe more weight on pitching. Yeah. Now it's like, pitching, the elite infield, you have to commit a lot of capital to. I still think these guys are like, they can be the difference makers. So I want to do it, but it's going to be challenging to fill out your rosters if you're starting off like 1.6 Bobby Witt.
This is an interesting thing here, Gunnar and Julio. You're just basically taking the guys in the opposite side of the board. It's the same start as
maybe it's that.
Just for that lineup, but obviously the whole room is doing something different at the front, so you're going to get different things the next few rounds.
That was not a did we not see there was a Paul Skeens?
2 more. This is all over early reaction. Well, I guess they got a Wyatt Langford here at 87, but this is definitely a what have you done already this season for me sort of thing.
No, but you see that someone took Paul Skeens in the first round.
Yeah, then Ellie, and then Tariq Skubal, and Yamamoto, and Imanaga, Jarren Duran.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did fire this next one. So here we go. You got pick 6. I got pick 9. So you're right in that infield group if you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be interesting to see what you go. We got Chipsy in here. What's up? No Bo Sox is in here. Terrence is in here. T-Bear. Bryant's in here. What's up, everybody?
PJ Ramirez in here with us?
No PJ Ramirez in here.
PJ, yeah. Okay. No, so it's not going to happen. But my dream is in one of these 7 ISs to get like a Tucker Jordan combo because Jordan's going to be faded so hard to the second round.
Okay,
won't happen in a room with you, I know, but
all right,
I think you pull it off if you want
for sure.
0.2 Tucker. Just
sorry I missed you, Robbie, but you did get the Ohtani spot. So what do you got? 1, 2, 3. Ohtani, Soto, Judge, Mookie. What's your top 3?
I kind of put like Tucker number 2. Yeah. Again, I think I want to maybe try to grab like some good Houston exposure and discounts because they're not firing on quite all cylinders. So I think they're on a better streak now than they were to start the year. But I kind of think you might be able to put together some fun Houston builds. So after Ohtani, I've clicked There we go. Now we're going to take Mookie. I mean, Bobby's staring right there. Gunnar goes ahead of me.
Yeah.
No,
that's
no. But Mookie's an infielder. That was another one. Mookie's an infielder.
Right. He did change. That's the earliest I've seen Gunnar go, but
yeah,
can't really blame him, I guess.
But I think Tucker's my 1.2, and then I always hate making the choice between two equals in my head. I just never know how to break that tie. I kind of like to let the draft tell me who to take. So
when
I'm looking at both Judge and Soto, it's just kind of I don't know. Am I going to track my exposures or what their true ADP is and know like when I have opportunities to get one versus the other? So Tucker feels like a nice little tiebreaker, just out in his own. Get started with some Houston.
All right. Well, I can't resist Tatis.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
He's just doing it. He's just accumulating.
Yeah. Yep.
Like on daily slates, if you're playing daily slates, he's against the lefty. The bat has him like top projected, and then against the righty, he's top 5, top 10, almost against any pitcher. So I just think I don't know if that's good logic, but I do use that like after drafting a bunch of dailies in the season. Like I do think about that who I'm putting at the top of my queue a lot, just based on projections on a daily basis, because we don't really have projections for like this period of a contest. Ooh, I like what Bryant did there.
Yes, I had just queued up Seager, and he pulled the trigger early, in my opinion, for him. Early second round, it's game on.
Yeah, and Terrence took a similar Philly build that you started with.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can get Trey to come back to him.
I'm not loving my position right now for 4 picks away and the names that are currently at the top of the queue.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Let's make this an LA team.
Ooh,
let's do it. Have a little exposure for him this season. Like I said, he's kind of cooled down lately.
Yeah.
But there's no reason he can't put together another 6 weeks or whatever like he has already.
That was 2 picks away from a Mookie Freddie start. It was very close. Close.
Interesting. I wonder if that
he went very late here.
Yeah.
Look at that. No Bo Sox. So he snipes you to get Jordan just doing it for the bit.
I think Jordan's ahead of Tatis, so
Jordan was just a little bit ahead of Tat. But I mean, you can. I'm sure that you were behind him was the extra motivation just to make sure you get him. What's your Jordan in this tournament? It's got to be
in this tournament. I don't know. I think I have more Tatis.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You can pretty much get those two whenever you want them right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm taking Olsen here.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think he's still like a little bit under the radar. I feel like for who he is. This is, I mean, middle of the second round.
So I just have one team with Jordan so far.
No way.
No, let's see. I got 12 entries. Yeah, there we go. Two teams with Jordan. I guess this is only my second Tatis team, but I have 3 Judge teams.
Ooh, okay.
Judge in the early going, Judge was going because he hadn't quite hit this hot streak, so he was going more in this 5, 6, 7 group, and I was taking him like 4 through 7.
Yeah.
If I took it, Chip's celebrating a Wheeler pitcher 1 for Dimer.
If there's any indication that you just need to reset your process for a mid-season tournament, it's Chip picking a pitcher in the third round.
He didn't take a pitcher, no.
Oh, he didn't. Excuse me.
All right. I do have one Acuna team in this contest.
I have one too. I have one slow.
But that's the risk we take playing this.
Thanks to that, I turned it into a 6-7-7. So we added some positional depth once we knew the news was in. Michael Harris, I think you talked about him last stream, or I've heard of some. I think go ahead, buy it again. You should be batting higher in the order,
Yeah, and they are doing now this kills me. Like, so lefty and righty, they're swapping him leading off and LB's leading off.
Yeah,
but they didn't do it when Acuna was leading off. It's like, why wouldn't it make sense to swap those guys in the second position? I don't know. That I don't understand what's different. Oh man, do we snipe here? Or do we just go with our guy Riley Green? We're just gonna go with Riley Green again.
Yep. He had a nice dinger yesterday over the monster. We've got some issues locally with our local broadcaster for the Tigers right now, Bally's, and they're playing the Australian Open, I think, on my local Bally's, my Bally Sports Detroit. I get home now. I still have access through my cable provider, but a lot of people have been shut out. Why the hell are they playing the Australian Open on Bally Sports Detroit? And there's a Tigers game going on right now. I'm a little upset.
All right. So T-Bear, let's see if T-Bear takes Trey here for his triple Phillies thing. Sounds I'm pulling out my star method. Sounds like Kerry Carpenter is not too likely for much this season, or with the back injury.
The lumbar stress fracture, I think was the description.
Yeah, does not sound good by description.
I didn't consult Dr. Dave. I think that sounds bad.
Yeah, I don't think there's any details beyond that.
That's a bummer though, man. He was actually just looking very, very impressive as a hitter, especially when you think about he was DH only, completely developmental guy. I think he went to a small college, in year 3 or 4, whatever this is with him, and he's just really taking off. Yeah, that was a true bummer for the Tigers.
T-Bear pushes. He takes Spencer Steer there. And takes Tariq Skubal. He's not in believing on the Trey Turner, or maybe not wanting to spend 3 early picks on one team. Interesting decision there.
I check the Trey. If he beats our start to this season, he's a almost first round player, right? That you're getting pretty late. But
I'm doing it.
I think that's.
I'm perfectly fine with that fall.
I got 2 infielders already, but I could have done it.
I considered him the previous pick.
Yeah, I get it. No, but hey, I'm not trying to collect, just a roster of injured players, right? Because they could work out. Now here's the guy that I really enjoyed in my first few slows, but the vibes are not good lately.
Randy?
Not Randy. I like Randy. I think that's a fine choice here, in the 4th to 5th round. Nimmo, yeah, I think I really actually like him now. He's kind of proven it to me, but the situation with the Mets is just not something I want to get involved in, I don't think. I don't know how that changes, his outlook unless he gets injured maybe, and there's just no reason to play it, but it's still, you're not going to stack it. It's not, or I'm not planning to stack.
You can put him with Lindor. Lindor's looked, he as bad as he started, he's really ramped up.
No, you're definitely. But even if he gets here, we'll think about it. It's still, it's not fun to click a New York Met right now.
Yeah, speaking of not fun, but I keep doing, or that's not what you said, but something I keep doing.
I keep clicking Nimmo, so yeah. I mean,
I keep clicking Vlad.
Sure. Hey, Vlad's more fun. I think Vlad's just a savvy move, a smart buy.
Yeah, Vlad plus Bo. The price, just like I can't resist it.
I've clicked some Bo. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just gotta give it a shot.
Sorry, we don't mean to rag on it, Robbie. But
hey.
we just gotta take it as is. Ben's not exactly enjoying the Detroit season even if he can't watch the game.
I can't even. I know.
All right, so you are on the clock.
This really sucks.
All
right. You know what? I'm punting the decision because there's two infielders I like equally. Okay. Like I said, I have trouble actually making choices, so we'll take an ADP discount on Brian Reynolds. But
yeah,
gosh, I'm stacking up Mets and Pirates, for my elite offense adjacent players. That doesn't feel good.
All right, so we are going to. There's nobody really here. I'm not going to reach on Jerkson Profile. I don't really believe. Do we take? Let's do it. Well, let's do the LECJ Abrams combo that I was totally out on in regular.
There's season. A nice level there. Kind of start with Lindor, Abrams, Volpe. I don't mind Willie if you want to go for it right here.
Yeah.
O'Neill Cruz just a little bit further down. Like this is what I was talking. Yeah, like I like Volpe, I like Abrams at this level right here, and in general, some of the Bichette, these infield fallers, they're looking pretty appetizing.
Yeah, and I do, I've been playing Abrams in the dailies lately, and he hasn't really done much. He does feel like he's a little cold right now, but I guess 2 seasons now we've seen 2 large small stretches of really elite production from him, steals and power. So I want to believe, but I am worried about Abrams, just because now we've seen both 2 seasons in a row where he's had a good month or whatever, and then the rest of the season. Well, we still have a lot to see this season, but I'm not as excited.
No, but they're for me at least, guys that show you that profile, I'm always going to be interested in. It's going to be where do they fall and how do they make sense for whatever format or roster I'm constructing. But the profile that Ellie shows, that CJ Abrams shows, I'm always going to be interested in just acquiring that.
Yeah,
we'll see how it turns out.
Speaking of profiles, we're going to take Robert there.
Okay.
He's probably going to be the guy that could tank this contest for me.
You know what? I'm going to follow your lead, and I'm going to take a profile that could probably tank things. But
I have.
You're not first, you're last, right? I mean that's the name of the game.
Yeah, because and especially right now, next week, we could be paying for these guys because there's both very close to returning to the team.
Yeah,
they're both in rehab assignments. They both could be going, 2 rounds earlier. They have a first couple of hot games, so taking the risk now seems to me to make sense.
We must have some ADPs off the charts here, because I mean I see that Royce is actually like 80th overall, and I took him at 67, but he was on the list, so I'll take him in front of Alex Bregman every time.
Okay,
that's the issue, but
I'm not.
You're not,
and my reason is really dumb because it's also the reason I shouldn't be taking Robert, in that they just neither.
You got one, so you don't need both of them.
Right, but in my player pool, I should have both of them, but for whatever reason, previous bias.
You don't need. I mean, there's as many reasons to not take them as there is to take them.
Yeah. Speaking of guys that are going to be going up very soon, Garrett Cole at pick 69. Very nice, Gypsy.
Nice.
This is first pitcher in round 6, which is early
That's
for him. Early
That-
for him, but I like it.
I do not think I've taken any Cole yet.
All right.
I got O'Neill for my stack is gone, and
You just missed him.
just missed him. Bo Bichette is right there, and we've talked about him, but I'm building up a little portfolio here. Nick Castellanos
Okay.
will,
He's a guy that can win you a week.
Have two infielders to start. This is where I'm trying to build up that outfield depth before things are too desperate.
Yeah. So this is generally where I'm starting to dip into pitcher, Gausman, Gilbert, Peralta, but I'm going to go George Kirby here.
Okay. Yeah. Nope.
I think although I like all those guys similar.
Yeah.
And even Joe Ryan, Max Fried down in that group, I look at pretty similar.
I was looking at Fried in that first draft we did, and yeah, probably not enough respect being shown to him, like what he's actually doing this year. So
yeah,
he's a way to get started on your pitching.
Yeah, because you are, the story this year is the 6 quality starts, 5 wins, but only 54 Ks in 67 innings. So
is that it?
You're buying volume out of him, innings, quality starts, because he's been super efficient lately.
Health too, right? We felt a little bit murkier, I feel, about his physical outlook at the start of the year. So now that we know he's in there, he's rolling. I mean, I haven't taken any sale yet in this tournament. I feel like I should be open to it, though. He's absolutely, even if you pick him at like the 70s or 80s where he goes here, he can outperform that, no problem, if he just stays on the trajectory he's at now.
Yeah, Sale reminds me this year of Snell last year, where his ADP went super high up, and all the same negative aspects were there potentially to crop up for both of those guys. But they last year's Snell still paid off.
Big way.
All right. I kind of want to grab an outfielder here before it closes out. I'm just going to go meat and potatoes with Ian Happ here, who seems to have maybe figured something out.
Yep. I was just thinking, I was looking at him and Castellanos, so he's back there for you.
Yeah. Because as we were looking at the draft board from before, we're reaching question marks in the outfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got guys that are Johnny come latelys and a lot of injured dudes that we're trying to figure out if we double down on. Nolan Jones, Evan Carter.
Yeah. And, Ian Happ is a pretty big stand for me in the regular season. Contest. The Ian Happ, Dansby Swanson was my Cubs stack du jour, which hasn't turned out great, but I still think he's good in this build, even though he might not pay off that price.
I think he's a very solid pick. It's going to get a lot murkier before we get much further. I see Josh Lowe went right ahead of you and Lane Thomas. Josh Lowe has some significant risk, I'd say, given the injury situation he's experienced so far. But I've definitely been collecting it. It's a dip from where he was in the full seasons. And Lane right there. They're all right. So we still had some decent options to start that round off.
Yeah. I would have taken Lane with Abrams at that.
Oh yeah, but nice.
But
no more Joey Meneses though. It's looking bleak out there.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like if you're building Washington out. Doesn't seem like James Wood is anywhere. We're going to have to hit the trade deadline before James Woods becomes relevant.
I think he hit the injury list too on the minors as well.
Oh, recently. Did
he? Yes, I do believe so.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah,
he's sitting on my DC team, just waiting.
Oh, he's simmering on a few of them.
All right.
This is not comfortable, so we're just gonna get this guy off the board here.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking to take my second pitcher here too. Also, I'm not going with Jared Jones.
No.
Just
kind of like no chance. Like he firm 0 exposure for this tournament. Just too much can change for a young pitcher like that, even over the next few weeks, let alone through the end of the season. So I don't think him or Skeens, to be frank, are all that viable for this tournament.
Yeah, especially as early as Skeens is going. I'm going to take Hunter Green here. It was basically a roll of dice between Fried, Snell, Green, and I guess even going down to Flaherty. I think all those guys to me have durability concerns.
Yeah,
from last year, but they're also all veteran enough that their team will be able to push them more than a young guy coming back from a season of low innings.
I think that's something you have to consider. And despite what performance you might see in front of you, and the skills that these young guys are showing, they're just, it's a lot of risk to expect Jared Jones or Paul Skeens to actually be in the rotation, pitching full games, 3 months from now. So
yeah.
I don't think I can find it, which is what's interesting about drafting them, right? Because they're clearly getting ADPs that we are getting drafts in within this overall prize tournament here.
All right, so anybody in our stacks coming up? I don't love Luis Arias. I haven't been adding too many Padres with Tatis.
No, yeah. This is where I was saying or we were saying like IF got thin quick, and yeah, there are names here, but Ryan Jeffers is ADP 140. That's not that's where William Contreras was in the full season. Pick 140. We're not making those sort of choices in infield currently.
Yeah, so I was looking at Vinny P there, and then I jumped up Dansby to go with Ian Happ. I'm not really building my stacks very well.
I've ended up with 2.
Tonight.
Yeah, I'm not actually stacking my Braves at all after that early start. Oh, no, I got a guy queued up, so we're cool. But yeah, no, even Yandy, I don't know. I know all the reasons why you should go for Yandy at pick, almost 120 if you're infield. But
yeah,
knowing what we know now, doesn't feel that great. I'm going to let it run out of me. But Jesus, I think, is way too deep right now. That's a guy I'm getting a lot of in these tournaments. And, hey, I hope he gets traded to a contender somewhere also. We can't predict our bonus points from QSs and wins or whatever, but certainly a guy's outlook can improve leaving the Marlins and going to a decent team,
Yeah. He loses
grade, but
yeah, I was gonna say he loses that part, but maybe
yeah.
Chipsy does take Jared Jones falling. It is interesting, that Jared Jones looked on fire and then one bad outing and he's back falling.
We're all off it, just right?
How quick stuff goes on this. Twisted Fantasy, who is in literally every one of these drafts that I've been in, takes Evan Carter there. I feel pretty good about general fade of Evan Carter.
Yeah.
Not the reason I was fading him, but I was fading him just because I didn't like them not using him against lefties. But now it's kind of turned into he's not even doing good against righties.
It's hard to make a reason for it unless, again, maybe you're stacking Rangers and you built a very nice outfield start to begin with. I will hope for his recovery because my drafters team that's it's been hanging out up there in the top 10 all year so far does have Evan Carter, so he's on the squad. He's one of my guys, but for only that reason.
Yeah. Gypsy gets Arenado there. We were talking about St. Louis. He's had a couple home runs the last few days too.
I think so. I mean, in the pool of players we're choosing from right now, I don't see why not. I'm gonna keep going with pitching here. I don't know why. I got very few infielders. This is looking like a rough team already, but I like Rodon. I like what he's showing right now, and he's healthy. He's out there pitching every day. So let's see if it can keep going. And I mean, this is a staff that I would have been proud to own for the full season. It would have taken some capital, but these are all like top 100 guys pretty much. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You're talking about your infield. You do have Mookie, Matt Olson, and Royce Lewis. So you're putting a lot of faith into those guys, which is not a bad thing.
Royce Lewis, commands some reinforcements though. We got to get some support for him because he's the icing on the cake, not the bread in the cake.
I don't follow your analogy, but I'll say, yeah, Ben. Yeah, exactly.
He's the
sesame sesame on the bagel.
Well, the sesame on the bagel is the best part, so he's more of the water used to boil the bagels, the New York water, which, by the way, if you're in Detroit, Michigan, New York bagel in Ferndale, hey man, when I moved back home from the South, we didn't have any bagels in Charlotte, man. Our bagel scene sucked. Now I got my New York bagel back.
Okay.
It's the truth. It is the truth. You can taste the difference.
I will say Milwaukee is not a bagel destination.
Yeah.
Beer, yes. Bagels, no. Brats, yes.
Still have this ready to go.
Oh, there you go.
The champagne.
The champagne of beers.
We love that in Detroit, man. We're all about our high lives here.
So I did take Garrett Crochet. He is another guy that could
he's like the toughest one, right? Because I want to buy into him? Yes, like he looks like the truth,
Yeah,
he's not. This isn't his he's not young like Skeens kind of,
Yeah, it's not, but it's still the innings question mark.
Same question. They're not going to have a lot of incentive to push him,
Right. Does he get traded? I don't know. All right, we're going to take a Justin Steele here. I'm doing a lot of this group of pitching I usually get 2 or 3 of. This is where I'm catching up to my other positions, generally in drafts. Mm-hmm. I'm out on Senga. I guess Barrios is fine there. I'll take him some.
Barrios, yep. I think nothing's changed on Barrios. If you're interested in filling out your staff in some kind of stable way where you're at, he always makes sense, I think.
Yeah. I think Justin Steele, if he has another good outing or two by the time this mm-hmm. closes, he'll be back up too. So I like grabbing him here now. And Jose Barrios, no matter what he does, is going to stay in this spot.
Yeah. No, I agree. Man, Torkelson's sitting there, just can't do it. I did have Yandy queued up. I was ready to take that, given what I'm doing with infield still at this point. We'll go Andres Jimenez.
Yeah,
I don't mind
potatoes. Meat and potatoes, right there.
I think when you jump a little bit on Royce Lewis, he is not the worst guy to bring that back with. I mean, could have gone Isak, I think. Why not Terang?
Chipsy here has a plus 7,000 Crochet Cy Young bet, so he's hoping that he gets pushed.
I've got Crochet on multiple NFBC teams, draft champions. Late dart, and he's. I mean, he was named the opening day starter, and he's just been in my lineup the whole year. Like, definitely rooting for the guy. Definitely believe in what he's doing.
Yeah. When this contest opened, he was way down there too, because he had come off a few bad starts, and now he's on the rise.
So and again, he's inexperienced, but he's not young, right? He was a stud prospect from the beginning, and he's dealt with so many injuries. So I see a little bit more of he's doing well. He's not taxing himself. He's clearly dominating the competition. Maybe he doesn't need to be shut down in the way that a true rookie does.
Right. Just more of the team context.
Yeah.
All right. You got a tough pick here.
I'm taking Isak.
Okay.
I'm pretty good with that. And now, after stretching for Royce a little bit for some upside, those aren't bad values, I think, for this point of the draft. Jimenez, Paredes, where they sit on their team. Yeah. What they're actually capable of too,
Yeah. Okay. So you fired a bunch of $25 long shots. That leads me to ask you, Ben. Well, how's your what's the cash out option on your Royals bets?
We have to take a look. They weren't offering me a Bobby Witt Jr. MVP cash out when I last looked.
Oh, really?
I got him plus 3,000. Shout out to me. But he's plus 300 on DraftKings. There was no cash out offer.
Man.
No, yeah, which I guess, honestly, because I think I mentioned it in the Discord over the Badge Bros, but Gunnar, Soto, Judd, their AL MVP could be tough for
sure
Royal. So,
So,
I might take that one if they give me, 3x my $10.
Yeah, well, at $10, might as well let it ride.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, but
okay.
Bird in the hand, two in the you my slogans.
Yeah.
The KC one, I think I had a cash out offer on, but yeah, KC plus 2,000 to win the Central. That's also, right where we want it to be. So
yeah. I think the phrase you're trying to say, a bagel in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Yes. A bagel in the hand is worth two in the boiler. Which makes sense because you boil bagels, Mr. Sheep. You that's how you cook them. You boil them.
Okay. I believe you. Davis Schneider, 158.
He knows what I'm talking about. And in this place, New York Bagel, they advertise they bring in New York water. I don't know if anyone actually does that.
Oh, really? Okay, it's
that's deep. That's what they advertise. Yeah. That's something you can, they export, or there's a brand maybe that is supposed to be pretty New York
they
water.
Fly jugs of it back and forth.
If you're looking for a New York pizza place, make sure they advertise that they use New York water in their dough.
Okay, I'm learning something here tonight. I'm going to take Walker Buehler.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, he's he's an injury timeline beat, I would say, for some dinger teams actually that I see that happen to be advancing with a few healthy pitchers. Walker Buehler coming back. That was a nice, could be a nice little boost.
Yeah, I liked him a lot during dinger season at his price.
I think so. Yeah, that looks good now. Yeah.
Bobby Miller's coming back. It'll be interesting to see how Dodgers handle it. If Kershaw comes back, I haven't seen anything on Kershaw. I still think that was a really silly signing by them.
Yeah. I haven't even. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You're on the clock, and then I'll go into a mini Dodgers rant.
No, I got something queued up here. Do I want to find an outfielder? could sack Starling Marte. I don't really want to do that. Lars is injured. Here we go. We'll try it with this guy.
Okay. He's back.
He's back. For how long? Man, I have no Reds exposure in this tournament. It was my favorite thing in our other formats.
No, so I don't understand the Dodgers, and they're like, it feels like they have like this nostalgia factor in their team building. Like it just seems to me like they're not willing to move on when they should. Like if they spent money as they do and then moved on from guys like Chris Taylor, Kike Hernandez, Miguel Rojas, like the team is full of these like dead weight guys. I mean, I guess Miguel Rojas, bad example. He doesn't have the team history that those other guys, like they keep bringing Kike Hernandez back, and I don't know why.
Jason Hayward, I'm sure he checks a lot of boxes for an organization when you evaluate what do you want out of a corner outfielder, but he doesn't move the needle in any of them. You just check them. Yeah.
So
they're in an interesting looking lineup right now. When after you get past Teoscar at number 5 usually.
Yeah.
It works on DraftKings because you can stack a bunch of dudes cheap on the end of it for your wraparounds, but to win a World Series,
you are on the clock here. So
we've got one of our I mean, why even delay it? You know who we're going with. It's
Nick Pivetta.
Cy Pivetta, like
he's back.
Just stay healthy, man. It's all in front of him though, right? Like, have the skills eroded? Is it? I know. I think it was C. Yater shared that third time through graphic off Fangraphs for Nick Pivetta, and that was not friendly to him. But
yeah, first time through, he is dominating. Okay, let's see here. Our stacks that we queued up are pretty thin. I see a couple of names I might want to target later, so I'm going to take a picture here. Zach Eflin's been a big miss for me this year, so we're going to grab Taj Bradley.
Okay, nice. Yep.
Sort of, Chris Bassett. I could have gone with Lodolo. I'm worried about his body. Like, I guess he is back and healthy. Just so much has happened to him that I have a problem clicking him. Cortez is good here. There's a lot of guys here. Mackenzie Gore, one of my favorite guys in this contest right now. Someone I'm trying to make up for the lack of exposure in the main contest is Mackenzie Gore.
What I notice here is that even though I don't mind like the buys that I got at Grayson past 100 and Jesus and Luzardo, they're going later than where we got them in the dinger, but this is a nice little group of pitching right here, and even Eflin, I don't think it's a long-term injury or anything. Like
I'm hoping for my dinger teams is that the reason he was pitching poorly was that this injury was hanging out, but I'm having some recency bias in buying back in onto this contest.
If you're trying to fill up on pitcher right now, I think you're feeling pretty good because Verlander is still hanging out. Eovaldi, Fat. I think Singer is kind of interesting right now. I don't know how much I believe, much like all of the Kansas City rotation, they're actually this good, but they're letting them throw. They're getting deep into games, and they've got an offense that's supporting them actually. So there's some fun Royals by. I mean, I'd much rather Singer here than where you have to pay to get Lugo right now.
Right, exactly. Man, I don't like any options here.
Already had 6 pitchers too, yeah.
But I'm at 6. Let's just close it out at pitcher.
Okay.
Let's take a Chris Bassett, a meat and potatoes kind of guy. Little injury issue last time. maybe I shouldn't take him if we don't want to take already injured pitchers, but maybe that turned into a Gallon situation, but we'll see.
With Crochet and like Taj Bradley and some other guys in your roster like that, right? Meat and potatoes might be a nice way to cap it off.
Yeah.
Now I've gone Cal Raleigh a lot in this range.
Okay. He's super cold right now.
He's very cold. He's very cold. He's very much a catcher in Safeco Park. I'm letting it run out of me because our guys in the badge rows were talking about Mr. Casas, and boy, I put Casas and Royce Lewis on the same team. That is probably not the right thing to do.
I mean,
we're building some talent in this roster.
The good news is that Royce is back soon.
I guess so. Yeah, so, but I don't.
By the time he's injured again, Casas can be coming back. How about that?
I think we started the stream with infield feels different. Remember, like Dinger, we could just click whoever we wanted. Still, I feel like in infield at this point, and it's really not the case in this tournament. It feels like.
I mean, David Fry's going here.
Does he actually have? Hey, man, look, we draft David Fry in our dailies. We stick him in that DraftKings lineup for 5K. When they're in the Coors, happily, he paid it. He paid it. But yeah, like that is drafting him in a best ball tournament for the rest of the season is pretty wild.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries and question marks, Robbie there took Joe Musgrove, who could be the best value on this entire draft. Potentially.
I've gotten to him in a number of my slows so far. Yep, I absolutely think so. There's going to be a couple pitcher names coming up, I feel like, where it's just going to smack you in the head. That's the pick.
Right. Yeah. Like could be a disaster based on his health, Joe Musgrove, but like the upside is so high there.
Yeah.
All right. So you're at 5.65 right now.
Yep. Outfield is tough. I'm going to let it ride for one more. Let it run out on an old friend of mine, but I'm coming back to him.
Jackson. Oh, Nolan Gorman. There you go.
Nolan. He's got no respect for his recent hot streak these last few weeks.
Oh man.
Which Sheep, I'm happy to report.
Yeah.
Lines up. I'm going to call it. If someone wants to snipe me, go ahead.
Okay.
Alec Bertelson will be outfield number 6 on this team, and I am excited about it.
Okay.
Would you snipe me? I mean,
no. You don't have to worry about me sniping you there.
Bertelson, you can't do that. Jackson's right there. This is all tough.
I don't have any other Brewers. I would have taken Jackson. I should have taken Jackson. I was looking at 4 infielders, and I went with Cabrian Hayes. Not part of any stacks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Health, and he hasn't looked good before that with Cabrian Hayes. It's a tough pick, but he's at least back and playing.
This is, I do think Churio's a little bit interesting sitting at the top of this queue right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I officially sat him in my the Rotary League where I had him. I was sticking with it for a long time. I believe in the talent.
For sure. And the likely scenario is that Sal Frelick, who's way later, is going to outscore Churio the rest of the season.
Yeah.
If you're looking at Brewers outfielders, okay, Bryant takes him there, takes the temptation away. I probably was going to take him if you made it back.
I think I like it. For my little, before I saw Gorman was there,
All
This
right,
draft is sped
man.
up, man.
What's that?
This draft is moving quick, I feel like.
Yeah, we're rolling good. We got everybody watching.
Yeah.
Reese Olson goes there. Interested in your take there, but
I queue him up. Like I don't always fall on him, especially if Musgrove and Reese Olson were there at the same time in a lot of drafts recently. Candelario, I definitely think is.
I'm taking him over CS. You think that's crazy?
No, not. I mean, you can't. I'm looking at him right now. Yeah, you gotta throw away your priors, right? CES, if he comes back, great. But that's a long ways away. I'm gonna do a very boring thing here, but I was looking at his numbers for the dailies, and like
Sure.
Stroman, and we know what he is. But he's occasionally is flashing like this 5 or 6K upside. In the innings, and Clark Schmidt just went down. So even when Cole comes, I mean, there's no question about his role in the rotation, right?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Wins, quality starts, like safe for Stroman, I think.
It's not what you're projecting, but there's a narrative around that makes sense for who he is and who he's pitching for.
Right. Looking at who's here, Dane Dunning, Christopher Sanchez may be an interesting name here. I mean, for some reason, Craig Kimbrell has a ADP here.
Just like 2 rounds ago, it seemed like pitchers were bountiful, and now they just got barren very fast, I would say. The pockets in this tournament with where ADPs are currently are very interesting to navigate.
Yeah. Pitcher does seem like you can't. There's plenty. Like when I said earlier, there's like at any point in the draft, I can take a picture I like, except in the 20th round. It's kind of true.
Yeah. 20th round. But then whose pitchers aren't going earlier, it's like it's a whole different pool. That's what it is. It's just a different pool than what you were drafting at the start of the season. No, I did actually want. Now we talked about the 6-7-7s, the 6 SP builds. I'm going to take Sanchez here.
Okay.
Yep. Nope.
He's definitely outperforming like Ty Walker. He's sticking in that rotation.
Yeah.
He's not having the Ranger Suarez season.
No, he's not. He's not.
In the regular season, when you're taking Christopher Sanchez over Ranger Suarez, you're probably kicking yourself now. But
confidence, heavily, enthusiastically. Every podcast I listened to told me to do that. How could I not?
All right, so let's do it. Let's take Jesse Winker.
Let's do it. That's what we're doing.
Do it. Well, I got Abrams.
Right. Okay.
I don't know that Jesse Winker is going to be on the team the whole season, but let's do it. There's nothing worse. There's no worse feeling right now than clicking on Jesse Winker in dailies or in this or on DFS because he burned the Brewers so bad last year that just like I have such a bad taste in my mouth from Jesse Winker. I drafted him so much.
That's what you have to do. You have to put that bias aside. He's the cleanup hitter for the Washington Nationals right now.
No Bo Sox. My outfield strategy in this team is essentially hopefully they don't all get platooned at the same time. So let's check out his team here quick. Fam, I hate how you can't do that. All right, let's just look here. He's got Yordan and Jarren Duran as anchors. He's got Stanton, sure. And then we got Pham, Marsh, Duvall, and Jock Peterson. Definitely. I guess is Marsh getting? I feel like he's getting fairly decent playing time.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely the strong side. Yep. No, I think I took him in the first draft for the Philly stack, outfield 6.
Yeah, Duvall and Kelenic are very interesting if you think they're not going to do anything else.
Yeah, this is the least stacked team that I have drafted.
All right, oh man. All right, let's do it. Let's take CES
Ooh,
as our 7th infielder.
I don't even have a CES share yet in this tournament.
That's saying something.
a little bit. Saying that I'm easily influenced.
Bryant here. Heavy 2-stack team for me, but trying to lean into the short nature and hope I catch a hot period. Let's check out his team. Dodgers, Ohtani, Teoscar. Let's see. And then Boston, Devers, Tyler O'Neill. A couple of Colorado pieces. A couple of Mets pieces. Wilyer Abreu. Yeah. Shea Langoliers. There's a name nobody was talking about in the early season. Hey, thanks for joining the draft, Travis. Appreciate it.
Was that?
No, sorry, I got the wrong name. Right, Brian is at the other end.
That was Travis Bryant.
Travis Robbie is in here. I'm sorry, guys. Bryant took Texas, Chicago, big stacks here, so I apologize. I'm reaching the end of this heavy alcohol beer, and I didn't really have anything to eat, so I'll blame that. All right, so you took Alec Burleson.
I did. Can I? I mean,
fix that.
No, but I look him up. Look him up. Like he is doing all the right things you would want out of a hitter at this point, and the runway is completely open for him. So he's batting second today. I think. Look, well, compared to PCA or Center Rafaela, I'm pretty confident in that one. I'll take those bets straight up.
That's fair enough. Because Jordan Walker's not gonna push him. No. I don't know if Tommy Edman's ever gonna play again this season. They're very cagey about his timeline. That last time I saw. So yeah, very, very interesting outfield decisions there. Dylan Carlson isn't doing anything to prove that he should stick.
Nope. There's a lot of runway for him. So
you have an excellent time there, Brian. You did not miss last week because I also missed last week because I was exhausted last Friday and I did not get to it. So all right, our teams. Do you want to roast each other's teams before we head out here?
Yes. No, I want to. Hey, there's 2 more for another draft.
2 more if you want to draft another one. I do not have the energy to host another draft after 1.5, but
I'll host it. Pass the powers. I'm amped up. No, I'm kidding.
We can leave this. I can leave this rolling.
Hey, if anyone wants, I can't pull up your comments as niftily as Mr. Sheep does, but I'm in it.
What time is it? 9:24.
It's early for you.
Sure.
For your time zone.
You're earlier than yours, yeah.
Earlier than mine, yeah. I've got your team up here though.
All right, so
let's do a little roasting. I'll let you know if we're 1 away, and maybe you can make a decision then.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Oh no, it is unfilled. Well, you talk about it first, and then I'll. All
right, so we got
critique your process.
Kirby, Green, Crochet, Steele, Bueller, Bradley, Bassett. I don't know. I don't know.
There's not much. These are all names that I would end up in any of my drafts, I feel like. And yeah, the Bassett little right. 184 for Bassett is actually a good value, right? He was not that deep for what he gives you in the dingers. So yeah.
Biggest question mark for me on this staff: Green, Crochet, Steele, Bueller, Bradley all have innings question marks from last season to this one.
Green has been coming up a lot.
What's up, Easy? Thanks for jumping in here.
Easy. This guy.
Stud.
He loves me. He loves talking Roto in the Bad Bros Discord. Just makes his day.
All right.
I was gonna say that.
Oh yeah.
Hunter Green gets a lot of. Did you start one?
Did I start? No.
No. No, you didn't. You did not. I thought that just popped up though. It caught me off guard.
Oh, sorry. No, we're not drafting another one.
I was going to say Hunter Green is an interesting pick. That's what I got for your pitching.
Okay.
He's doing well. He's performing better than we thought from an ERA standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellie, Trey Turner, CJ Abrams, Dan B. Swanson, Brian Hayes, Heimer, Candelaire, and CES. Jason's just hitting the stream here, so maybe we should hit another draft. I don't know.
Sheep, will you do it with me, man?
All right, let's do it.
We're 4 away. We're 4 away.
All right, let's do it. Oh, I might have to take a bio break here. Let's see what
I can keep talking.
Let's see. Let's do it. Tomorrow's slate is up. That's not what we want.
See, I always coax this out of you, Sheep.
You always get me into a second draft. We need 2 people, but I need to pop out for a little bio break, and I will be right back. So it's all yours. You have the floor, Ben.
All right. I can't pull up your comments. I can't do anything. Let me. Oh gosh. Well, Sheep, we don't have. Can I? Oh, I can present. Hold on the phone. We're not talking. We're on Sheep stream, and I'm going to share my screen. I really, really pray that he comes back soon. I don't know if anyone is seeing this. There's no audio in the background. There's no visuals. God damn it. Share the screen. Okay. All right. I think we're seeing this here. So to run through the rest of my team real quick. By the way, I like what Sheep did here. I am a big CES fan. Haven't gotten him in this tournament at all, but obviously going for the stack here. Ellie, Jamer, CES. I keep taking two early infielders is where I end up on a lot of these drafts so far. Let me try to get to my room here. And so, yeah, I really didn't know Mookie was an infielder, or I hadn't thought about that when I clicked him. So that kind of set things up to get a little bit weird. Him, Olsen, Michael Harris. I'm going to dive back into it. It's just, I don't know. He's underperformed, but I believe in him. Brandon Nimmo, that was the guy that I think, he was like really cruising for a while there. The Mets are so ugly right now. It's really hard to get into, but I think he's kind of answered the question about the type of player he is. So I think he's kind of a nice buy in this tournament. Reynolds, late pick. I have like 0 Reynolds in the dinger. Cassie, we talked about, guy that a little bit undersold, and maybe he'll have a better second half here. We are waiting for one more person. So anyone wants to jump in there, especially my guy Easy, if he's still out there to do a little 7IS. Yeah, I guess the only thing again was that, man, I feel like infield just is the one position group right now that really changes so quickly. Fine outfield. It was tough to do in this draft and tough to do in this tournament, but that was the case too at the early season. That's why we went early outfields all draft season long. So I don't really know if that's like anything different in how you react to it and how you put your team together. I would say the infield where, this pick on Andres Jimenez, he was much cheaper. Sheep, are you back? Did you take the did you take the screen? Or are we actually looking at it now? Holy crap. We do need one more person. One more person. I'll go into the draft room here. But yeah, that's my thought. That's what's going on. I think in this tournament, your infield gets a little bit dicey. So hey, I hope people are commenting. I don't know how to bring up your particular comments, but wow.
That's some producing right there.
This thing was still going, was it not?
Oh yeah, you were still on. You were live.
Are you going to go back and edit that for me, or just take it off the record completely? Or
I do not edit any of this, so
yes,
it's all live on the internet forever.
That's authentic, man. I figured out I could share the screen too, so I did.
Yeah, but you
fine.
can't add it to the stage, so unfortunately. Did you answer this question? Did I miss that? What's the worst whip?
I couldn't see the comments. I know how to bring those up. My worst whip, wait, can you bring it up again? Was it individual player or overall team?
On a roto team. So I think the whole overall team.
Like 1.2 ish. Yeah, like 1.2, 1.3 maybe. My pitching is not. My pitching's been very good overall across. Like I've got some wacky ERAs where I'm at like 3.8 ERA total, but like a 1.1 whip or something like that. The whip hasn't been too bad.
I got a 1.243 in a qualifier, and let's see, in my TJ FBI, I have a 1.173. So they're both middle of the pack teams.
The thing though too is that league to league, the variance in like where pitching sets you up, I feel like, is completely crazy. I've got like a team, my best team, where I'm like a 3.5 ERA, but I'm in 10th place or something in that league.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Yeah, my best team has a 1.152 whip with a 3.2 ERA. That's my DC that is somehow in second place, despite missing a lot of outfielders.
Man.
So you did bring me into this draft, and we get a Shohei Ohtani. So you're picking in the middle again. So
that's good. Well, hey, now here I'm faced with the decision that you are familiar with, I'm sure. I'm gonna try Jordan, man.
Gonna do it. All right.
Yeah. I think I put him just like literally one slot ahead of Fernando.
Okay.
Yep.
I definitely get going gunner there.
Gun. Yeah. No, I think, hey, we're looking at it again, right? It's these infielders that have just contaminated our first round with their availability.
All right, so we got Robbie is back in this draft. PJ Ramirez has joined us in this one.
Hey,
welcome. Nez does take gunner. He's out there somewhere.
Nez!
And Chipsy's out there in this draft also.
Well done, Nez. Well done. There's a Renaissance man, not afraid to take that infielder that was a third rounder in our full season tournament.
Yeah, the missing out on Ellie, but having a couple of gunner Bobby Witt teams is kind of made up for, but having, two of those three as your first two infielders has been pretty nice. And Jose Ramirez is quietly been performing.
Still he's already gone, right? But he has not quite adjusted to what he's done so far this season as one of these infielders. People have jumped him, but he still makes people queasy, I think.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about, Nez? I guess you're almost on the clock here, but the rest of Baltimore is harder to stack, I think, as compared to what I thought about the team going into the season. It feels like the playing time is really sort of gone flat on everybody.
And there's certain names that are not quite comfortable, like Jordan Westberg, that you might want to commit to if you're trying to stack them out here. Like I think there's still a lot of faith in Ryan Mountcastle. From what I understand, though, about playing time and everything, is that he is not getting everyday at bats. He's not really close to that right now, and he's still part of that stack. Though I feel like I'd want to go for if I start off with some Orioles. So this one will be easy for you, and get as much as we can get, man.
Corey Seager,
yeah. Corey, just get today in the dailies. He was like a early second rounder, I want to say, kind of for the most part. Did he hit any home runs? I haven't even checked
tonight. I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. Well, he was like my favorite pick in the dailies today because, after Shohei, it was just kind of all right. Do whatever you want, and why not him?
Yep, Glasnow is pitcher number one. Easy. The interest. I said it a few streams ago, but the Dodgers pitchers, Glasnow and Yamamoto, the situation hasn't changed. It's maybe I said this when I was talking to Tuma about their scoring so far. Like coming into the season, everybody's are they going to do the 6-man rotation? Blah 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 blah. How much are they going to do 2 starts? And it hasn't mattered. Like 1 start a week, those guys are still dominating the leaderboard in terms of points scored.
That was a great recap too, by the way. I really enjoyed that podcast.
Oh, thanks.
I would say definitely if you're diving back into the pool here.
Oh man, let's it's that time of the night. Let's get homerific. I am not taking William Contreras for the most part at this price, but
okay, no,
we're gonna do it. I think most people are going to take Teoscar with Ohtani here. So
yeah, and I think you were early Teoscar drafter. When he was still a free agent, and for lots of good reasons, and that's worked out well, even if you've jumped onto him after the signing and everything.
Yeah, he is by far, or he was one of my huge bullpen stands, and why my bullpen is advancing more than my dinger at this point.
I think so. What was it? But your Ellie discussion, yeah, that was a fun. You and Tuma talking about Ellie and kind of everything. Where it's like there's both sides of it, but how do you factor in a guy that might steal 100 bases? It's just kind of like, all right, I guess that happened. It's hard to make a decision without that information on a player.
I have not seen his latest on pace for numbers.
He must be slowing down a little bit.
That is, you're on the clock, but that's the funny thing about on pace numbers is like you only see them when they're outrageous.
Right.
No one ever posts as they're slowing down or if they're being bad. Like if somebody's got like 5 steals and projects, for 50, you're not going to see that. Oh, they're on pace for 15.
Now, I would like to, and I just went with Scooble there, and I do think if you just look at the pitchers for the next, like, why shouldn't he be the number 1 overall pitcher? Or why can't he actually outperform a few of these names by a fairly healthy chunk? So I kind of think Scooble is an interesting early round pitcher to take right now. But Burns, what? I'm pulling 72 innings, 71. Like Burns's Ks have not been there, and Skubal is like been absolutely light out from a K metric standpoint, plus going deep. Not going to maybe look to a lot of wins, but that was something that I picked up on a little bit, and taking them, I guess, in front of Corbin is a little bit out of pocket. But yeah, this next group of names, I think Skubal can kind of like separate from that tier, actually.
Yeah, I am totally with you on the Burns idea.
Mm-hmm.
He is still an amazing pitcher.
Yes.
But we are not seeing Cy Young season Corbin Burns right now. He is still like, look, that 9 quality starts, like he deserves to go here, but I totally buy your argument. Yeah, I like it.
Luis Castillo has not been quite Cy Young. I still think Yamamoto, Skeens, Sale. I guess, you have to say there's some innings upside risk with Skubal, given his age and history. But yeah, he kind of looks like, just like an upside opportunity actually in this pool of SPs.
That's interesting. I've not considered that. But for the most part, I'm not jumping in.
Just not jumping in
into this group. No.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But yeah, I like it. We're out here living a little tonight on this Friday night.
We got 3 drafts in, man. That's living a lot.
We did get 3 drafts.
3 drafts.
2.5. I'm gonna, if I fall asleep during this one, just like yell loud or something.
I got you. or send me the privileges again.
There you go. Hey. Yeah, if I disappear, I'll give you power.
Okay, I'll just run this thing all night long. Nez, he did it.
Nez did it. He took Paul Skeens.
Oh, that has to be his first share, right?
He's here now, doing it for the street. He had to take him and jump on. That's
I trust that is his actual first share of Paul Skeens in this, unless maybe there was an early draft where he was like around pick 70 or something.
I'm gonna guess it was.
Yeah, I think so. I was able to get Riley Green too, so that's good. Yes, see now, yeah, even with an early Skubal, this is a fun start. Seager, Alvarez, Green. We're coming up to.
Oh, I'm on the clock.
You're on the clock.
Okay. Looking ahead here a little bit. I know you're just denigrating him, but we're taking Luis Castillo.
Okay. No, I think for where you ended up, and again, looking at the next batch of pitchers, Castillo now, I'm sorry, you're back to back. Yeah, Castillo now or Sale, Cease, Cole, Suarez, Reagans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
I still just love the consistency of Luis Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to build a little Chicago stack.
Okay. We're going back. Yeah, I certainly won't. I don't think I'll avoid Chicago for this tournament, but the results of my full season Chicago stacks have been pretty grim. That could be a reason why the advance rates aren't all that hot right now.
Yeah. It does seem like Michael Busch is on the downswing of playing time there. I'm not including him.
Dynasty land, but I traded Josh Lowe for Michael Busch 1v1.
Wait, which you got Michael Busch?
I got Michael Busch. Yes.
Okay.
I'm very first base, corner, infield needy. I've got a glut of outfielders in that league. Outfield's looking great. Lowe was still is injured, but as soon that was around early May when I made that trade. And, it's not been a good month for Mr. Busch.
All right, so you got Green. You're back on the clock. We're both going homer on this, and Nez is going homer with Paul Skeens. So
we love it.
Perfect late Friday draft.
This is one of my guys here.
Okay.
Yep. I think he's mostly answered the call.
Oh, all right. I did miss this. It is absolutely Nez's first Paul Skeens in this contest.
Yes.
We know he's got that bag packed in the dinger.
Round 20.
Ooh, and a Mike Trout. He's getting silly out there.
Wait a minute, Nez. We just went through the rules of like what gets thrown out, right? Like on the Bad Bros stream a couple days ago with Newbie. Newbie explained it to us.
This isn't too off from ADP, so Paul
That doesn't mean it's right. I mean, ADP is wrong on this, you know.
I don't think they have the analysis tool for if you're drafting a bad team based on actual bad teams.
Well, that was a funny discussion though. I rather enjoyed that. the direct court Stroud goes, and then like that guy was just like,
yeah. So it's weird to me because, like, as just observer of best ball Twitter, like how many times does like it's usually just random people getting called out.
Yeah.
For that, there's people post tweets like every contest about maybe not baseball. Baseball might be kind of immune from those, but for football and stacking, like you see tweets for that for every contest, for dailies and whatever. But for whatever reason, that poor guy got, in his moment of weakness, got thrown under the bus where, I don't think I've ever done it, but, it's not hard to see how you can hit that point and just be in the wrong mood one night and do that.
Maybe, but you also have to dig deep to find some true, like,
oh, for sure. All right, you're on the clock though, so
I'm shocked Nez didn't do this here. I'm gonna do it.
O'Neill?
No. Top of the queue. Is it going?
Oh,
yeah, there we go. Top of the queue.
Naylor. Taylor Ward over Josh Naylor. Yeah. I think Taylor Ward is having one of the quietest good fantasy seasons this year.
He is.
At least, I don't know about Roto. I don't think I have him on my 3 Roto teams. But for this contest, like...
No, he is. Batting average, power, some counting stats. Yeah, he was cheap too. He was cheap in Roto, just like he was. Might have been cheaper in Roto than best ball. Honestly, he was like a near like pick 300 or something. I think in most NFBC drafts.
Okay, yeah,
he was like your 4th outfielder in a 5 outfield build.
All right, what do we got going on here? Scrolling a little bit. All right, I think I have a plan here. As we come up, we'll see what happens.
There was and I wanted to make a little bit of a point about Jarren Duran, but I don't know if you have a second to pull up Schwarber's numbers. He has 4 doubles on the year. That's so low.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's, and you're on the clock. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We're taking Paul Goldschmidt here.
Okay. All right.
And Seiya. So I'm good. I got my plan here.
But that was something where there's like a couple players that we're into in early drafts, and they have the spike potential and all that, like Schwarber. But I was looking at their actual, production, and it can be hard to make it. I feel like in this format, if you offer like 0 doubles and triples and like some other types of production, like Volpe doesn't have really a ton of steals or a ton of home runs, but he's got like a ton of doubles and he's got 6 triples. It's like we forget the points format a little bit, and guys with maybe a little bit of speed on the pads, that can also like Duran, he's got some good pop, but he's also getting a lot of production out of his doubles and triples and everything. I think that's a little bit maybe underrated, or just like not thought about.
Right.
And a true 3, like Schwarber is. We say a lot of guys are 3 outcomes, but like Schwarber is truly 3 outcomes, like nothing beyond that.
Yeah, you're about to be on the clock, but I am super surprised by that doubles number. I did not realize.
Well, that seems like an insane. Now that's probably just variance, right? And he'll certainly end up with more than 10 doubles on the year, given his power and everything. But it was interesting, I thought, to look at when I pulled it up.
I wonder if it's speed related.
Yeah,
I haven't. If he's slowing down even more this year than previous years.
Yeah.
All right, you're going Royce. Two drafts in a row.
Got
to do it.
Maybe 3 in a row. Yeah. Man, there was a couple other like Jordan actually. Jordan, like his total bases has got to be lower than you would think.
Yeah.
Oh, 11 doubles? Okay. I mean, maybe that's...
Yeah, but you don't expect the 9 home runs.
Right. If you're only getting a level double, like for him to have more doubles than home runs is probably we're off the rails a little bit on what we want out of him. Yeah, I remember pulling that Schwarber. I was just really like, you're going to do it again in the second round for him? But, he's Schwarber. What you see is what you get.
Oh, this is interesting. He only has 40 doubles the past 2 years. So maybe this is something you didn't notice from before.
I guess so. I mean, it would, me actually know a player's profile that I'm counting like that. Who does that?
Yeah.
We're almost halfway through the season. We're not like almost halfway, but we're getting there. He's got a little ways to go to get to 20 doubles this year.
This brings up a good point. The guys that are stealing this year is like we're starting to see steals that we expected at the rule change last year that we didn't get. So like Jesse Winker is a guy who's stealing bases. Jordan has 4 steals, which is just ridiculous. Like he barely has any knees. Like,
yeah,
maybe we should be worried about him stealing bases. The Mike Trout effect.
Got a couple or 3 or something like that. But now, Chip, he stole 10 bases 2 years ago. So I was very heavy into Mr. Schwarber for his stolen base potential last year, Roto, and I have 0 shares this year, Roto.
Yeah. Plus, he won us the taco.
Yeah,
Kyle Schwarber won us the World Series taco.
Schwarber. I want to find some other names though. It was just like, but how many doubles do you think Stanton has?
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Stanton lately in the dailies, and he's gotten no points at all. So I'll say 6.
He's got 8. Twice as many as Schwarber.
All right, you're on the clock there.
We're gonna. How could you do this after taking Royce Lewis? But
yeah. All right, you're embracing the injury risk here. Pedro is maybe regretting here joining this third draft of the stream. The reaches are throwing off Pedro's game plan.
I got me really a guy I want to try to get after, Tariq Skubal. I'm just kind of antsy here. I'm just mucking it up since then.
All right. Let's see. We're coming up here. Looking at our options, we got Castillo as our anchor pitcher. We got Contreras, Goldschmidt. I would not be surprised if these 2 guys at the end of the season have swap places in terms of like total points scored for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, so CFT there takes Ian Happ. Definitely was on my radar.
Do you not have Salvador maybe queued up here?
No.
So okay, I've actually put. Can you drop down his?
Oh, 1 second. I'm taking Grayson here.
Yeah,
and let's take Blake Snell.
Or Blake Snell. Okay.
Maybe I should have taken Morel there. I just have an extreme bias against Christopher Morel.
Yeah.
All right. So you wanted to see.
I just want to call it Salvi.
Okay. 13 doubles. If we're talking about doubles,
that's pretty like that's pretty awesome, man. He's cracked 500 already. Like I think I've been getting Salvi in this one.
Okay, I have not. I'll be honest. It's just been a blind spot. I've not considered it or anything. So
if you want to talk about our doubles dead zone, Mr. Christopher Morel, supposedly an athlete.
4 doubles.
Saying like you these extra bases help. They help. They help scoring in a points-based format. Don't forget your doubles, people. That's all I was trying to drive home there.
Yeah. 10 home runs, 5 stolen bases. He's still getting there. It feels like he's
I like him a lot. No, yeah. I definitely like him a lot. And he's been like pretty unlucky from an BA standpoint.
All right, you are up.
We got a nice little Framber sticking out to me here.
Okay.
Go back it up. It's been a little bit of a rocky road for my guy. But yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Start pitch where you want, and he's a fine person to add, I feel like.
Yeah. I definitely feel comfortable where he's going, taking him quite often. Again, he's the Max Fried, the same profile, just earlier. The innings versus Ks sort of things.
There's definitely like a almost with the way that like just a lot of pitching actually has excelled. The guys that have stayed healthy for pitching, they've mostly excelled. So I think you do get into a kind of a weird quandary where you're just looking at so many names that they don't distinguish themselves. Like Hunter there would have been fine with me. Sonny Gray would have been fine. How anyone really. So it's and I know in Roto, like Scott White from CBS talks about the glob. I think the glob has like expanded actually, and there's plenty of viable, but like okay, I'll draft them sort of pitchers.
Yeah, for sure. Man, if anybody actually told me that Jack Flaherty was going at pick 101 at the beginning of the season, I definitely would have called them crazy.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of Flaherty built up for our full seasons, which is nice. And I feel like the only reason I don't like it in this format is because of who we know Jack Flaherty to be. If you just want to evaluate him on his season performance, he has done everything. It's all earned with his performance so far. So that's tricky, right? Like a guy like him is earning it this year,
right?
Is it really? Yeah.
There was one guy in the regular season that was pretty heavily touting Jack Flaherty in the 20th round. He just happens to be in this draft and also on camera now. We have Nez jumping on here.
It's nice to meet you, dude. First time ever getting to chat over stream.
Oh my gosh, man! A competitor in the Nez Dynasty with the goofiest rules of any.
Oh, isn't that? How dope is that dynasty?
What do you get points for? I can't figure that league out. Too funny.
Do you like it? Do you like it with those type of rules?
I don't even know what the rules are still. Like,
all right. I can explain it for everybody, and then you can tell me. So if I'm kind of like talking quiet, my wife is like trying to sleep, so I'm trying not to be too loud here, and I'm on the clock at the same time. But let me explain
down, man.
These.
I'd like Chief's take on it.
What was this the one you tried to get me to join?
It's the same rules, but a different league.
Okay.
And so these rules for the people watching it's not like this underdog. It's points. It's a points format. Dynasty league, but you don't get points for like your typical fantasy stuff like runs and RBIs. You get it's like a war league where you get weighted based on like a home run or a double, and with pitching, like there's no wins. It's just like Ks and innings pitched. It's very, it's a very unique league, but I think it's awesome.
At bats or like plate appearances or like a stat.
So you lose points for an at bat, so it like cuts inflation. You don't just like want the guys who hit a lot; you want them to actually be good players. So it's interesting. It's funny that you took Newmy's spot in that.
And that at bat is out of the way. Then that's like a bet.
True.
The high walkers, low K guys.
Yep. Yeah, you want those guys for sure. But you took Newmy's spot in this league because he did. He ended up going MIA and ditching that team, just completely ghosting it. But in this league too, it's like
team I took, or
you took. You have you're
no way. Okay,
yeah, you're like Weekend at Bernie's with Newmy's dynasty team right now.
It's not a bad squad, man. I mean,
it isn't. You got a good team.
Okay. Yeah. I got to remember to set my lineups daily. That's always one of the tough things.
I know that always is tough. Sorry, Sheep. I'll let you make these picks.
All right, we're doing the cheap St. Louis. We get a value even on Arenado's ADP. And let's take Dansby for this Chicago. This is the NL Central team. We got Milwaukee, St. Louis, and
I
Chicago.
love the Goldschmidt price.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna look insane soon. He's heating up big time.
Cardinals.
I know you love that, Sheep, but this is the guy.
Well,
racing to his projections like fast, because obviously he got off to a terrible season, but
it's okay because right now, but the Pirates aren't really doing it, and the Reds aren't really doing it. So it is still a 3-team race, just not the exact 3 teams we expected.
Yeah, he got good pitching in Pittsburgh though, so you got to watch out. Bailey Falter just got robbed of a beautiful dub today. I mean, what the hell is up with this? Like, you have to, at this point, you kind of have to take him like kind of serious. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying we draft him, but like, in real life, in real life, he's proving to be a surprisingly good trade by Ben Cherington. I did not like that when he traded Rodolfo Castro. I was pretty upset, especially because I thought Falter was ass. So,
I mean, he was.
Well, yeah, he was. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't think that analysis was bad in hindsight. You're talking about Flaherty. You got to be loving that, man, as a pesky boy yourself.
Hey, yes. If only we could score some. We have a lot of pitchers right now that are excelling, but could we score them some runs? Spencer Torkelson, we'll get to. Are we at Torkelson's range yet in this draft here?
I don't think so, man. I think you still got a ways to go.
A little deeper, man. Like,
scrolling.
Shout out to the Bad X for loving some Spencer Torkelson at the start of the year.
137.
Was he already drafted?
No, that's his ADP.
Yeah. No, I see him. Actually, he's highlighted for me on my thingy because I've got Riley Green, but I'm not going to click that.
Yeah, man, I think the Flaherty stuff is for real though.
So you make a decision, right? Like whether or not it's just worth the ADP. I don't think it's so much.
So that is the question, right? Like at ADP, like I think he like makes sense to fade in this contest. Yeah. But I do think that I don't think he's gonna like burn you. It's just like I think when you think of the cost and what we know about pitchers, it definitely makes sense to take a different player there. Considering the values that exist after him, like there's still a lot of players that should not be going where they go behind him.
I haven't done it yet, but it's like he definitely he's earned that ADP, or he's earned to put himself in that group of names.
Yeah,
I have done it.
Oh, go ahead.
I have done it.
I couldn't even watch them locally. Thanks to our freaking cable package.
That's the worst.
It's so bad.
But yeah, this is my first ski and share, as you guys were noting with the pick. It's just I had to do it. Once I saw that you guys were in here, I auto drafted my first 2 picks. I'd like reg for this because I missed your one draft that you were trying to fill, and then this filled, and I missed the first 2 picks. I was like, oh shit, I forgot you're still on.
We're still here.
So after your pick, I'm interested. You did take Michael Harris. I'm interested to see where you think he's at.
Yeah, that was a stack pick, right? I was like, okay, I got Matt Olson. I need to make this count. So you already know where we're going here.
I like it.
Anytime you can draft 3 Pirates pitchers, you got to do it.
Wasn't sure if you wanted some Isak though. I got a little Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, dude, I literally was between him and Isak.
Yeah. I don't we know it. Yeah. But hey,
the brand is strong, man. The brand is strong.
2 years in a row now, right?
Yeah, I mean, him and Naylor back-to-back seasons are just crushing.
Yeah, Naylor on the team too. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, it's they're like carrying me so hard because I have so many busts. Like Matt Wallner and Henry Davis are 2 of my highest drafted outfielders, and I have decent advance rates because I have so much Josh Naylor. It's crazy.
Naylor is on my, as I mentioned before, my top 10 drafters team, and he's been there. So Naylor's a guy.
You're top 10 right now.
I've been holding top 10 and draft. I've touched first.
I'm not in there, so I can't see the leaderboard.
No, Sheep's been on. I know he's around there, top 50 at least.
Nice.
Yeah, but I've been consistent for like a month now. Yeah, up in there in the top 10, and it's a healthy team. It's a healthy team. It's a healthy 6-pitcher build, so it looks a little bit different compared to the other teams that are up there.
I will say, like those cumulative contests, they're not really my thing. But I had a team in the top like 20, I think last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sweat, those things are definitely fun to track.
Yes. That's a squad, right? Like amongst all the other things that I have going on.
It's a real squad.
These players perform for the rest.
And it's like a finals type sweat, like right away, like in the middle of the season, like exactly who those players are.
Yeah.
You're sweating anytime they're up, like you're watching because you have them. Like it becomes fun when you have a horse in the race pretty early. So
Chipsy is building a pennant team here. He's got a Baltimore-Philadelphia World Series team going. He's got plenty of Philly and Baltimore. So
where does he get his ideas? Apparently, Aaron Judge is doing things.
That
0 in dailies. He was my first round fade. I hear San Francisco's a tough park. So why would we take him versus Jordan Hicks? But
that's why he didn't go there, because he didn't want to hit home runs in San Francisco. He sent Arson Judge there instead.
Yeah, well, at least you didn't completely fade the highest total game of probably of the season. So there's that for you.
Man,
which game was that?
I today on our show, we were talking about literally every game, and I was like giving a case for every single game, and then we got to D-backs and Mets, and I was like, I'm crossing this out. Let's move on.
Yeah.
How do you think that turned out?
Good. You wouldn't be talking about it if it didn't turn out good.
I mean, they scored 19 runs tonight.
Okay. Please tell me Brandon Nimmo had some of it at least, right? Or
of course not. Probably not.
Oh well, hey, I see some Mark Vientos on the box score here. We endorse Mark Vientos.
Yeah, I just put a claim in for him. So
yeah,
that's at your discretion. You said that.
I've already maxed out my claims, it appears, in that league. So there's other rules about periods and adding that I did not.
and it's salary. So
salary, yep.
And in the dynasty league that you're in, we have like arbitration too.
Yes.
So so you can keep as many of these players you want in the dynasty as you want. But before you decide who you want to keep, everybody has $2 to put towards players of every team in the league. You can't like combine them all on one player, and like you have to use $2 on every team. So you can choose to like put 2 on one player or 1 on another and 1 on another. And then everybody does this. So like if you have like a really good value, say like you have, I don't know, Ellie De La Cruz for $1, like everybody's going to throw $2 on him. So now instead of being worth $1, he's on your team for $24 because everybody threw money on him. So it's like, it's a fun wrinkle.
That is interesting. When I was like fresh to my job, I got randomly somebody was like, "Hey, you want to join a fantasy baseball league?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like baseball." Like not really telling them how much I played DFS and whatever. They're actually asking my coworker who doesn't follow baseball at all. So they were like trying to get him in. Anyway, needless to say, I shut down that league. They did not run it. I did not get paid for my win, but you
just completely took the life out of them.
I did.
You own their souls, which is your compensation.
But in the vein of this, the free agent, the moves rule you didn't know is I did not know there was like a moves restriction. So it was a daily league. So I was putting a new pitcher in like every day. And they're like, "Hey, you're gonna have to like put in $1. You've already reached your move limit. Every other move you want to make this season is going to cost $1."
Oh wow! So that I can't believe it was one of those leagues, and they like didn't take it seriously. That's usually that's a high level type. That's like a track by hand type of situation.
Yeah, I think it originated from an old league, and there's not many members that took it seriously anymore.
That makes sense.
But it was an NL only, so you know how
it was NL only.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anybody actually playing a split league before.
Well, I mean,
I just hear them talk and mention it, but I've never met somebody that actually done it.
Right, and at one point AL only with DH, only made sense, but
right,
this was NL only before the rule change, but only because of we were in Milwaukee and people knew those teams more.
I like that. I like that reasoning.
All right. Let's get silly here. Speaking of being in Milwaukee, there
you go.
We're gonna take Terang and Churio. Let's just build the whole thing out. We missed on Adames and Hoskins. Hoskins, if you're out there drafting right now, is not going to be going ahead ADP. If you want to get in on Hoskins, you're going to have to be ahead of ADP on him.
Yeah, way ahead. Pretty soon. I was loving that in my slows that I have going right now. Just scooping him up like where he sits at ADP. Beautiful thing.
CFT took Casas good 30 picks early, which
do you like that? You think he's coming back soon? I thought he was a pretty good value.
I think so, but it happens to mess with a little bit of a Boston stack that I'm trying to put together. So
yeah, that's rough.
I'm upset about that. And now I'm completely confused as to what to do. Gosh, these pitchers. All right. Clock is ticking. We'll go Verlander. We talked about Verlander before. I think it's pretty solid. But
I like Verlander at ADP.
Casas, or in general, some of these unknown injury dudes that still figure to project to be back before the tournament kicks off. Yeah, I think jump in on it.
Ooh, you buying?
I am, man. I think JJ Bleday's pretty good.
Okay. Here's something I want to say though. The Oakland A's propaganda is getting a little bit.
What do you mean propaganda? In what way?
They are who we thought. They're terrible. They are still a terrible
baseball team. Is the propaganda like Mason Miller hype?
they've won like a couple games and they've hit a few home runs, right? Like, but so quickly it's like, oh, you can't use a pitcher in DFS against the A's because they're a little bit sneaky.
Oh,
it's just
whoever's saying that's hilarious because they strike out so much. You got to go for that.
Well, okay, then I'm talking to the right room here.
Yeah, for sure. But I will say, I think that they have that female announcer. She gets like ragged on all the time. I feel so bad because like there's bad announcers everywhere. But oh man, they're letting her have it. Although man, that Siri call was not.
She just walked into one, didn't she? That did not help her cause. That was so unfortunate.
But yeah, I'm just saying, you gotta let her be.
I mean, but yeah, like okay, Langolier is like I don't know. I'm never gonna touch it. I'm not gonna.
I don't know, man. He's only 26. Like he's not gonna hit home runs in that park, though. That's for certain.
It's still the Oakland A's. It's still playing in the Coliseum. I just think that people have really like they're into it. Everyone wants to root for him, right? So I think that's taking things a little bit beyond what they actually are.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like they still have Abraham Toro leading off most days.
Like you can't do that in this tournament, right? Like you can't actually spend a pick on their leadoff hitter. Or maybe you can. Maybe Abraham Toro is a draft. I don't know.
I mean, if
I'm not taking Toro.
No,
okay, I don't. We've seen enough of Toro in the big leagues, but like Bleday actually like was a good prospect. Like Lears was a pretty good prospect, and Rooker did it last year. So I just think those three like I actually do like, but yeah, I'm not doing Abraham Toro. Absolutely not. And I'm definitely taking my L on Noda, and I'm not touching G-Loff. Not in this tournament, but like in stacks, like I don't think that those guys are bad like in certain matchups. But obviously that wasn't your point. I'm just saying.
Oh no, totally, yeah. But yeah, man, maybe it's how I still listen to Grinders Live and things like that.
No. I'm just
like, hey, you can get some leverage in your DraftKings lineups, like getting those A's, baby. Like,
okay, I will play the A's on DraftKings because they're cheap still.
Sure.
Sometimes the pieces of the
same thing. Yeah, they might even be more valuable pretty soon on here
on your dailies, right? Because they're still scroll downs.
If they're on like a really big slate, tough to get.
Rooker's like high fours, I think, at this point on DraftKings.
Wow.
Yeah, I think the Rooker cost on here has gotten a little bit out of control.
What is it now? Oh wow, top 100 is pretty crazy.
I hate being on the end here because I'm taking like Churio and Newtbar who probably could make it back to me.
It's get your guys at this range though.
But yeah, that's true. I took Ronaldo Lopez again. I think I took him on the first half draft that we were finishing up. Seemed like I said earlier, Atlanta needs arms. So I think they're going to push him to his limit this season.
I'm sorry. I was like looking ahead of my pick. I love Reynaldo Lopez. I think he's a pretty damn good pitcher, and you get him in the right matchups, he's gonna thrive. Like I don't know, another guy that like kind of good prospect and been waiting for him to do this. And I mean, just the fact that he's doing it with the Braves and like not anybody else, I think we could trust the Braves being a good organization and actually having something there.
I do have a signed rookie card of him somewhere around this house.
Oh, that's fire.
Because he showed that, when he was in Chicago, he always showed that, that potential.
Fireballer.
Yeah, I always had him on my team at some point. I would eventually drop him, but I always had him. All right, what do you guys think about this pick? I'm going to have, I think, no joke, 80% of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We were talking about it earlier when he went like 20 or 18. I don't know if later round.
Not late to get him. Yeah.
He's either going to be a bust or a smash.
Yeah, and at this range, like give me the smash. Like we know the upside with Joe Musgrove. Obviously, he hasn't shown it in a long time, but
no,
not long enough that like I'm not still buying. You know, like it hasn't even been a complete season of bad Musgrove.
He's just turned in like his 2 best performances most recently too. You know?
That's what's crazy. Like he looks good now. So why are we not bumping him up?
Neil is jumping on
this sheep.
We are late. We are late live. We're like 2.5 drafts in, Neil. Here we're getting silly, but thanks for jumping in. I was really happy to see that you got our guy Billy Jones on your stream there, Neil. He's an up and comer in the data space in best ball, so that's awesome. I love seeing that.
Billy Jones is a goat. He's awesome.
The only question I have, Neil, is when you're going to care about baseball. Yeah. So let's talk about this Justin Steele stream. Like that was awesome. Like I have had a bias against, I'll admit it, I've had a bias against Justin Steele being on the Cubs. That doesn't help. And just like all of the advanced numbers last year did not match what he was doing, but watching him nerd out on NFL DFS, I just like, I'm a brand new fan.
That's so cool, man. I'm just so jealous that he got to do that. I love Justin. I didn't have a lot of him this season because I was worried like you were, Sheep, and the price was pretty expensive during best ball season, so I don't have a lot, but he 150 in the 7th inning stretch is a crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
He just had his he just kind of stood out again. Like Sheep was saying, his price will be going up. He gets in a couple more nice performances for you.
Yeah, like we're only like I think a third of the way through the actual regular season, so it's not improbable that these guys that were pretty good last year can still be good this season. It's a long season.
If you were nervous about it, not an arm injury, it was the hammy or the groin or something. So
right.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to call out this thing. He is the most genuine good dude, and like doing fantasy content. Nobody really watches my streams or whatever, but that's the thing you forget about. It's just like that players are people, and like that really was the best part about that stream. Was if you haven't watched it, go check out Neil's stuff. Was just like seeing this guy that is just a dude that had something in common with me. Like
you rarely get a chance to relate to a professional athlete on that level.
Right. Yeah, for sure. We're jumping Mason Wynn here.
Ooh, okay.
Into our St. Louis stack.
Love that pick. I love Mason Wynn, man.
And we're getting a guy who I've been down on for a long time, but now at this price, I'm taking Charlie Morton.
Yeah, I like it.
Same reason as Reynaldo Lopez. They're going to push Morton to the limit this year.
I like the Cardinals stack a lot, man. I think the Cardinals are heating up. I mean, they may not like be competitive, but these bats that aren't performing are going to do better. Maybe not Arenado. I think Arenado might be cooked, but Goldschmidt is heating up. Like he's gonna be good. So we don't have to worry about that.
Alec Burleson, let's give the man an ADP. I did it with. I think I gave him one the last draft. Yes,
you did.
We need to build on that, right? For him. He needs to be a 230 ranked overall player, or something like something meaty like that.
I love Burleson.
They
got who else they got on it? They got another big boy on there, don't they? I
mean, Gorman.
Yeah, Gorman. Yeah,
he swings like a big boy.
Yeah, husky boy.
No. Yeah.
Do you guys like Jeff Springs in this contest? Or you just think he has like no chance of actually pitching real innings?
No. Yeah,
I would say no.
I'm out.
You're just saying that because you want to take him, probably.
I have 0% Springs. I do like that Burger pick.
Yeah,
I did not.
He might need a change of scenery, but I think he's a damn good hitter.
Yeah, I just think he is. He's a spike week guy that, this was the price I liked getting him at during regular season, and he really took a skyrocket in ADP, and I didn't follow it, but I think he's still great at this price.
Yeah, I'm banking on him heating up a little bit too. Like he can, I do think he has that spike week potential, but not really going his way at the moment. But I still like him.
Yeah,
he's post injury, and I think prior to his total season doesn't look good at all. But I think before that injury, we were kind of right where we wanted to be on things. And yeah, no oblique injury kind of derailed him. So
yeah. I just think, I definitely think he's better than he was. We were paying more for him in the regular season, I think, too. So
yeah, yep. Julian's been drafted, right? No, zero shares for this tournament so far.
Of Julio?
No, Julian, Eduard.
Oh my god, I was like,
Eduard.
Yeah, dude.
The
Twins are causing me so much pain. I mean, at least Molnar did something in AAA the other day. Like he was like sucking even in AAA. Yeah. So hopefully you can look at that and maybe say something was wrong, like physically or something. Like a better excuse than like, no, he just sucks. But I think he might just suck.
It's pretty bleak.
The Twins are also causing Neil pain as the Minnesota resident. I do think in July I'm going to be up there. I'm going to catch some Brewers Twins games, so I'm excited for that. I love that stadium.
I've never been. I definitely want to go.
Ooh, Nez takes the Jason Dominguez. I took him in
let's go.
Oh, we got the fireball. I moved on to a screwdriver here, so.
Oh, that's a nice choice. Yeah, so you like the Dominguez pick?
I don't like it, but I'm excited. It's like 23 round let's get silly pick.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely some silliness involved there, but it seems like his the return is imminent. I don't know, man. I think we saw enough out of him that they're gonna have to call him up. But the consistent playing time, even if he is up, is clearly the hurdle.
Right. Yeah. And I guess for me, I've had a lot of Judge starts early on this, so he's been
staying rich.
A lot of 20th round there.
Did you do Judge over Soto in the regular season?
Yes. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Both sides are winning there, but
that's
for sure.
That's what I was, in our start of this. Yeah, like I kind of don't like that 1.2 because I don't like choosing between Judge or Soto. I don't know what to do. So I was saying I'm just going with Tucker, split the difference. Maybe find a falling Jordan once in this tournament here.
Yeah, Jordan. I think where does he go now? Because I can see him falling even more.
He's holding still. He's still a first rounder, I guess, but.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, that's where I'd take him. But I guess he's not like doing terrible, but he's not doing Jordan things at all.
I feel like the market could sour a little bit maybe, and you might find a nice second round Jordan a little bit later.
Yeah, this contest is going to be fun, man. This is as things change and ADPs change a lot. This will be fun to keep up with, and it'll definitely fill too. Like last season had so much overlay. This one I think is definitely going to fill.
Yeah, we got it earlier, right? This is definitely open way before the last one was.
So actually, the last one was open earlier.
But
it was bigger. It was even bigger than this, and it was too big. But it got a lot of entries at the last second because obviously people were chasing overlay, but. It was at one point 40% full with 2 days or 3 days to go.
Yeah, we'll start tracking it as we get closer. But yeah, we got basically 25 days left,
Okay.
and we're at 16%. So yeah, I think we're definitely ahead, and I think we'll get pretty close to filling. I don't know if it'll fill all the way, but
the fact that you can do slow drafts is like a huge plus.
Very huge.
You couldn't do that last year, and that was that was difficult for liquidity.
Now, is that going to be a change of policy though for second half tournaments across the board?
I hope so, because
I thought the whole thing was that like they didn't want slows in the second half format where people would just be like waiting on news and just delaying like nonstop.
I think like I kind of hope it does, because it's like, hey, you can make the prize pools bigger.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, if you want the advantage as well, enter slow drafts like the other people, and if you want to draft like tonight, like, enter draft, wait for a room to fill. So
even with my improved access, I'm still registering slow drafts. I like having that activity just going on in the background.
It's slow draft season, man, for sure. And it's a lot of fun when you load up. I'm sitting on like 10 right now. I got to do after this.
There you go.
All right. Well, as I'm about to travel this upcoming week and a half, I do not have any slows set up for my vacation, but I will be back in a couple of weeks for the show. We'll get another 1 or 2 episodes of the Stacking Dingers show out. Ben, Nez, thanks for jumping on here tonight. Mostly Ben. Nez, you're
I was the closer.
Yeah, you're the closer. I needed someone to take over in the third draft.
Love Ben
talking. So appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the last second invite.
All right, so everybody out there, get in this contest. It's a ton of fun. We will see you in a few weeks, and good luck drafting.